another episode of the Saturday Night Special Ring of Fire collection, and this time let's talk about the polymer examples. Now, I don't have a lot of polymer examples, but we can still talk about how they fit into the Ring of Fire. And although I think some of these companies were some of the first to bring or introduce polymer framed pistols to the US, I still have to do a little bit more research on whether or not they were innovative, or whether or not they were some of the first to do it creatively, or if they were copying. But let's take a look at them. So we've got the main family tree. Starts out with the Ravens. It has all the family branches. The polymer guns are all from the son-in-law of George Jennings, and that's Jim Davis, so Davis Firearms, and then Lorson. So we've got Waldorf or whatever. After starting Lorson in 1989, starts Standard Arms in 1999, and I have this broken sample of a Standard Arms, and you can see it's really not that different from like a Grendel or an early Kel-Tec. So Standard Arms only lasts a year, and then Waldorf starts Talon Industries, and I don't have an example of one of theirs. Looks very similar without this little tab in front of the trigger guard. Actually looks a lot more like maybe a Kel-Tec or something. So Jim Davis, a year earlier than that, in 1998, starts a company called Republic Arms, and they make a 45 ACP polymer pistol, and they have a pretty bad reputation. They only last like a year also. So I figured I would, I mentioned the Grendel, I would show you this Grendel compared to this Standard, and you can see they're not all that different, size and everything. The big difference on this P10 is it's fed through a stripper clip through the slide there. It doesn't have any magazine, so that was an interesting I don't know, innovation or step along the line of the development of pistols. And if that looks familiar, it should. This was developed by George Kellgren, who has nothing to do with the Ring of Fire guns. But again, when we're talking about the pistols, the development of polymer pistols, obviously Kel-Tec is one of the big ones, and Grendel was one of the predecessors to Kel-Tec. And like I say, I'm going to do a bit more research when I have the time to find out what the relationship was between both Standard and Talon, and then Republic from Jim Davis, and then Grendel, and if they had anything to do with each other. They were all kind of starting and developing and bringing polymer guns to the market around the same time. It's the kind of stuff that makes collecting stuff like this interesting. If you have any questions or observations, anything to add to this one, please do wherever you find the video. And as always, thanks for watching.
The guys and gals of GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.